decades of change. A new look for an ancient country. A stronger voice, a stronger role. Made in China with global partners. Is the rising power a rising threat? Eyes on China.
This is World Insight. It's your program every weekend when we get together to pick through some of the main news in the headlines. I'm James Chow in our main studios here in Beijing. Welcome and thanks very much for being with us. Our time together starts right now, so let's begin our 30 minutes. Oh, we always say welcome, but it's also a very happy new year. We're about a week into this Year the Tiger here in China, so to everyone, have a fantastic 12 months ahead. Now, there's not only a special week here, it's also been a special year in 2009. China celebrated, of course, its 60th birthday when all eyes zoomed in on the country to have a look at its quick economic growth and its growing role on the world stage. This ancient country has a brand new look, and that's the focus of the world media, the young faces of China. Over the next 30 minutes, we're going to bring you a series of special reports on the changes in China's image.
The footprints of history stretch back 5,000 years. And amid the achievements of the past, great changes are taking place today. China's under the world spotlight. And these young faces are the country's new symbols. Film actress Zhou Xun graced the cover of French magazine Le Point in December. It focused on China in its end-of-the-year special. The 81 pages presented a variety of aspects in Chinese society.
China's economic development is like a miracle, and there is growing interest among French people in China. More and more friends around me go to Beijing and Shanghai.
Last May, a new face appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Pop singer Zhang Lianying made her American television singing debut. She rose to prominence after her third-place performance in the 2005 season of the Supergirl contest in China. And at last year's Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, more eyes were on piano virtuoso Lang Lang.
My daughter was very specific about wanting to help us out with this particular introduction. We lived in China for about 4 months this year, and she's been studying Mandarin, so she wanted to try it out. All right, you ready, baby? All right.
您好，郎朗，我叫我了，欢迎来到阿斯勒。
谢谢 ，Thank you.
China's new look is making headlines. The New York Times and the Wall Street Journal have special pages focusing on the country. And China was depicted as the refuge for humanity in the movie 2012. Workers in what's been called the world's factory built arks in the mountains for the deluge to come. A special ad promoting the Made in China brand has made its debut on CNN Asia. It aims to highlight how Chinese and overseas firms work together to produce high-quality goods.
When it says Made in China, it really means Made in China, made with the world.
随着中国经济实力的开始飞速发展
As China's economy grows rapidly, the power of China has strengthened. Many countries are noticing the rise of China, but the word rise has a complicated meaning in their understanding.
the end of last year, Time magazine chose its Person of the Year, 2009. Chinese workers, most of them rural migrants, were runners-up to U.S. Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke.
Why do you have the Chinese worker on that?
Well, you know, China almost every year is so important in the global economy, and this was the year of the economy. In fact, if China had not had 8% growth as it had, which is due to all of those workers, the world economy would be in a much worse place.
And 4 women were surprised to be chosen to represent this important segment of the Chinese workforce. They work in the Shenzhen Guangke Technology Company, just outside Hong Kong.
长远的打算的话肯定没有，我现在最大的就希望的话就好好把我儿子带大。
多加点钱，再不好办吗？自己没有这么愿望了。
Leaving behind families and homes for the city, they take on largely manual labor and are among the country's lowest paid workers. But the magazine called them the most powerful herd on the planet. We found some of the people who are leading the world to economic recovery, Chinese men and women, their struggles in the past, their thoughts on the present, and their eyes on the future. What's behind the choice? A year ago, many thought China's 8% GDP growth target in 2009 was a pipe dream, but they were proven wrong. In 2009, China remains the world's fastest-growing major economy and an economic stimulus for the rest of the world. According to the International Monetary Fund, last year, China contributed to half of the economy of the world still recovering from the financial crisis. This month, the country has surpassed Germany as the world's biggest exporter. And this year, it could pass Japan as the world's second largest economy. A new report by PricewaterhouseCoopers predicts that China could overtake the U.S. as the largest economy as early as 2020.
And because of China's economic influence or the size, and suddenly becomes a very, very exposing and to the world, and especially during the financial crisis, China's economy taking the lead to get out of the recession and doing better than other economy. So they think the rest of the world believe China has the better or the larger economic capability to help others rather than anyone else.
Last year, the U.S. tourism industry was hit hard, but a new emerging market has brought opportunities. Expedia Golden Travel Agency is a Chinese firm headquartered in Washington. Joseph Ouyang's business has cashed in on America's opening up to the Chinese travel market.
The Chinese travel market is booming. When I took over this company, its sales volume for 1 year was $8 million. Now it's doubled.
Well, I think the Chinese inbound to the U.S. was a big change because the MOU, which allowed approved destination status, really took much more effect in 2009 than it did in 2008.
The Chinese market is one of the fastest growing in the tourism industry. Analysts say apart from its GDP contribution to the world, China provides a market with huge potential. According to the IMF, private consumption in China surged $150 billion last year, while it plunged in the U.S., Europe, and Japan. For the first time, economists point to Chinese spending, not the U.S. consumer, as the key to global recovery.
Well, it's really happened in a very short space of time.